Well, the crowd have definitely arrived in Croke Park now. Great atmosphere, beautiful day. We're looking forward to an exciting game of football. Recognised as one of the best we've seen in the championship, the drawn match last Monday week. Can it be the same, this replay, on this Saturday afternoon at headquarters? Donegal's Michael Hegarty won the toss and decided to play from left to right. In other words, from Hill 16 to the canal.
Yes, that's an interesting call actually, Marty, because what it means actually is that Donegal will be playing into the hill in the second half. I always think by keeping Dublin from not playing into the second half, you're actually taking an advantage from them. And it was a good call by Michael Hegarty.
The scene is set. The drama is about to unfold. Kevin Cassidy and Damien Diver seems to have switched positions. Pat McEnany starts this All-Ireland quarter-final replay. Donegal playing from left to right. First free to Jim McGuinness. Punched away by Covan Goggins, but it's a poor effort by Paul McGonigal. It'll be very interesting here, because of the delay in starting, who settles the fastest.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Marty, because I think nerves and tension sometimes can impede the game somewhat and prevent players from getting into their stride. But certainly the quicker settler will be the team that probably will win it eventually.
This is Raymond Sweeney, sending it in low. First ball goes to Brendan Devaney, trying to get inside the Dublin cover. They converge on him, and it's Stephen Cluxton that comes away with it. Sideline ball, Donegal. Barry Cahill just taking a little bit too much out of it. John Gilday. Break favours Adrian Sweeney. Referee has blown his whistle, and it's going to be a free out. So that's no score, despite the white flag being raised by the umpire. Dublin take the free quickly. John Gilday, Michael Hegarty, giving it in long, but this should be a defender's ball all the way. And it wasn't really. Father Andrews didn't do it very convincingly. Paul Casey. Damien Diver getting a little touch to it. John Gilday surviving. It's hefty shoulder, hefty challenges. Damien Diver fouled. It's quite intense in the opening 2 minutes. It's tough, it's hard, it's championship. No complaints from either sets of players. John Gilday giving possession away. Darren McGee feeding Colin Moore. Gives it in long. Chasing after it is Desi Farr. With him is Shane Carr. There was too much power in the kick. Desi couldn't reach it. First kick out of the day for Tony Blake, which is quickly taken, in fact. And Donegal not hanging around as Paul McGonigal to Raymond Sweeney. Willing to run at this Dublin defence. Jim McGuinness is back there. Has to go back. Feeds Paul McGonigal. He's wearing number 15. This is part of the tactical plan by Donegal all season to play him as an extra midfielder. Brian Roper gets away from the challenge of Father Andrews. Andrews responds. It's a poor ball inside, easily cut out by Kieran Whelan. To his midfield partner, Darren McGee. Desi Farrell making space. Shane Carr chasing it. The old chink is there. Onto the trusty left boot. Is this the opening score? It's not. And the referee had blown his whistle. Couldn't really hear him here in the here in Croke Park, but the referee Pat McEnany had blown his whistle for overcarrying.
Good decision by Pat McEnany at that time, but I must say Kieran Whelan has settled very well into the game. Way more purpose, way more intent, and that time with Brian Roper going through with the ball. Kieran is the one that gets back. That's the second great interception he has made.
Eamon Doherty. Damien Diver. Who will ever forget those two penetrating runs that he made when introduced as a substitute and scored 2 points. This is the right corner back, Shane Carr. Donegal full of confidence. Christy Toy, the last man to score a goal for Donegal here in Croke Park against Meath, going for the opening point, but it's swinging to the right and wide. Remember, the last day, Bank Holiday Monday, it took 12.5 minutes for either team to score, and on that occasion it was Shane Ryan that scored. Here's a great run by Christy Toy, fending off the challenges, but just his final shot just not reaching the target. Stephen Cluxton's kick out goes right down the middle. Paul Casey went off with a hip injury the last day, now fully fit. Alan Brogan shows well for it. Feeds Senan Connell on the turn. Bit optimistic from there, really. That was a bad decision, bad choice.
Yeah, bad shot selection that time, because Senan Connell, I think, had way more room and way more time than he had realised.
The kick out again, so quickly taken. This is Jim McGuinness. With him is Johnny McGee. Referee allows play to continue. It's an effort by Michael Hegarty, which goes wide. 3 wides for Donegal, and Tommy Lyons rather annoyed, I think, with the performance so far. Still no score, almost 6 minutes played.
Yeah, but what a pace, Marty, to the game. Both teams have set off at a blistering pace, and as you pointed out, the kick out by Donegal is a very, very quick one. They're not giving players any time to catch a breather.
And it's a change of plan. We did not see this right throughout the championship. But despite Donegal's passion and indeed amount of possession, they still have yet to score. That's a fine catch by Shane Carr. Unlucky to lose out. Picked along the ground, touched along the ground, Noel McGinley. Free to Dublin. This could well be the opening score. This is what happened. Shane Carr unlucky. This is Noel McGinley picking the ball off the ground.
Yeah, he can't have any complaints about that. I think the ball has been taken forward 13 metres as a consequence of his descent as well. Ray Cosgrove, 5 goals, 14 points in just 4 games. It's a remarkable statistic. Is this the opening point in the replay? White flag has been raised. We're up and running in Croke Park. Martin Carney, despite Donegal's hustle and bustle and indeed tearing into Dublin, they find themselves trailing. Yeah, it's early stages yet though, Marty. Both teams are probing away and trying to find out weaknesses. That first score came about as an unforced error by Noel McGinley, but there's a long time to go yet. Nicely picked up by Raymond Sweeney. Plenty of players available. One of them, Jim McGuinness. 2 hops of the ball. Not allowed. Mickey Moran disappointed. Possession given easily away. Alan Brogan. Keeping him company as always, Noel McGinley. Brogan just taking his eye off it, and under severe pressure, Damien Diver gets the boot in. Fairly. Dublin win it back. Available in the centre, Kieran Whelan. Challenging McGonigal. Fails to stop it. Whelan with the effort of a point, and it's over the bar. This is a wonderful score. Made and created by Kieran Whelan. He had to ship a couple of challenges here, but look how near he is to the sideline. Great kick. Fabulous kick, and all the signs early on are that Kieran Whelan today is on his game. That's a wonderful score from a very difficult angle. And here is the aforementioned Kieran Whelan. Referee gives him the free. Dublin doing a lot of running. Alan Brogan this time checking the left wing. Noel McGinley with him. Taking a shot! Oh! It's off the crossbar. The umpires don't react, but that was a golden opportunity.
and it rocketed off the crossbar. Donegal keep the pressure on. Desi Farrell. Raymond Sweeney with it. He has to work a little bit of space. Gives it back to Johnny McGee, and McGee, the centre half back, puts it over the bar. The last time they met in the National Football League in Parnell Park, Johnny McGee scored a goal against Donegal. But just watch this. Alan Brogan cutting inside Noel McGinley and took a rocket off the crossbar, didn't cross the line, umpire's correct, and the referee obviously allowing play to continue.
Yes, but I think very encouraging from a Dublin point of view. Kieran Whelan is rampant so far at midfield, probably stung by a lot of the criticism he received the last day, given the fact that John Kildare dominated midfield. On inside, I must say, Alan Brogan has looked very threatening in the first couple of occasions we've seen him with the ball, and very unlucky that time not to have scored a goal.
Raymond Sweeney from Dunlow, younger brother of corner forward Adrian, is the player that requires some medical attention. It looks like Paddy Campbell, the substitute, is warming up, but Raymond Sweeney, I'm sure, will be fit enough to continue. Tony Blake with the kick out. Breaking ball, so vital around centre field, and particularly when you play a third player around there, you have to make sure that you're winning a fair percentage. Michael Hegarty was fouled. That's going to be a free to Donegal. Michael Hegarty again. Up towards Adrian Sweeney. It comes to Paul McGonigal. He cuts it across the face of the goal and sends it wide. He's only managed 3 points in this championship campaign so far, but his primary purpose is to gather breaking ball around centre field.
That's right, and that's the second wide so far. And Donegal need to score to settle themselves down. That opportunity again from a broken ball should have been put away by Paul McGonigal.
Dublin 3 points, Donegal no score. Donegal with 4 wides so far. And here's Paul McGonigal again, feeding Jim McGuinness. Adrian Sweeney. Referee says Sweeney was fouling, and that's going to be a free out to Dublin. Nobody really available for Paddy Christie, and thus his hesitation. It's a waste of possession, really. This should be Raymond Sweeney's. Challenged by Desi Farrell. Referee says it's a free. John Gilday takes the responsibility. Brian Roper with Heather Andrews chasing him. Look at this for a run. John Gilday right through the centre. Steadies, shoots. But again, the result is the same. 5 wides for Donegal, 12.5 minutes played. And like the drawn match, still Donegal finding it difficult to score, but on this occasion, Dublin have a 3-point advantage.
Yes, and the problem with that is that those type of wides nibble away at your confidence. The cumulative effect of them can be to demoralise a team.
5 different players with shots on goal. Fine catch again by Kieran Whelan. Johnny McGee. Good covering this time by Shane Carr. Uses John Gilday. Kevin Cassidy setting up Christy Toy under a little bit of pressure from Barry Cahill. The challenge was late. It's going to be a free for Donegal. And it looks like Pat McEnany is going to have a word with Colin Moore. It's a yellow card for the left half forward. Let's just see this again. That, I think, was an earlier incident rather than the one that Colin Moore was involved in. Brendan Devaney just taking his eye off the ball, but gets it second time round. Takes a shot, and that's over the bar. He's a class performer. 1 goal and 24 points in 6 games tells its own story. That statistic now changes. He even recovered from making a slight boo-boo the first time the ball came to him. And what about this? Great score. Paul McGonigal. Two Donegal players. One on your screen is Paul McGonigal, and John Gilday has gone down off the ball as well.
Yes, and I think of the two, John Gilday took the harder hit, and it would be a very, very big worry indeed for Donegal if he were to go. Dessie Farrell had time to be fair, but Paul McGonigal led him shoulder to shoulder. Lucky enough to get the free.
It's a yellow card for Dessie Farrell, Martin. I thought that was a fair challenge.
Well, I thought it was shoulder to shoulder. I thought both that he had 1 foot on the ground. I didn't think there was anything wrong with it.
Let's just see this again. Here's Paul McGonigal, here's Farrell coming in. And it seemed to be shoulder to shoulder. Of course, McGonigal was going down for the ball. John Gilday seems to have a thigh problem. And still getting some attention there from Sinead Traorty, the team physio. Has been relatively free from injury. You can see there's an ice pack there. It seems to be almost a dead leg, perhaps.
Yeah, and dead legs are notorious. They can certainly inhibit a player always immediately. It's not something he'll be able to run off that easily. And he took quite a knock, actually, that time that he was in collision with one of the Dublin midfielders. This would be a huge blow to Donegal, indeed, if his performance was in any way inhibited by the injury, or indeed if he had to go off.
And he seems to be experiencing a stressful time at the moment, judging by that close-up shot. Dr. Barry Breen from Mount Charles has now joined Sinead to try and make sure that their midfield star can continue on. But he looks in considerable pain there. Dr. Barry Breen is filling in for Aidan Kennedy, who's on holidays. He's very much a football fanatic, and he ensures, along with Sinead Traorty, that John Gilday is able to continue. And of course, blood substitution not allowed on this occasion, not involved. Damien Diver, better suited as a half-back, right half-back, or a left half-back. Brian Roper skips away from Peter Andrews. This is a great run. Coleman Goggins hits him a shoulder. Roper survives and sends it over the bar. He failed to score the last day. 2-3 in 5 games. This is his first against Dublin, but look at the way he skipped away from Peter Andrews. He left him for dead. Roper took off, saw the challenge from Goggins, survived that, and with the left foot sent it over the bar.
Certainly that's a huge lift for Brian Roper, and getting it on his left foot even more of a lift, because he'd a quiet enough game the last day. Christy Toy.
You get the impression that Donegal are playing with a little bit more confidence now. The pass from Toy is not a good one. He subsequently fouls Barry Cahill. That's going to be a free to Dublin. Quickly taken. They're not hanging about in Croke Park. The free's being quickly taken. Making himself available as the Dublin captain, Coleman Goggins. All-star last year. Gets away from Jim McGuinness. Tries to feed Dessie Farrell. Shane Carr seems producing at the moment a very fine performance at right cornerback. Noel McGinley. Raymond Sweeney. Eamon Doherty. They play the traditional Donegal game of short hand passing in their own half-back line. 4 Dublin players converge. Good work by Kevin Cassidy. Things getting a little bit tempestuous. It's Alan Brogan who skips away, but the referee felt that Brogan had taken too many steps with the ball, and that's going to be a free. Pat McEnany told me beforehand, Martin, that he was going to allow as much advantage as possible, but if the players weren't concentrating on the game, he wasn't going to employ that system anymore. And just here, there was a little development from this fine catch by Kevin Cassidy of a possible physicality, which we haven't seen so far.
No,
Kevin Cassidy.
No, but I think Donegal are probably inviting it by playing the game so short.
Yes, absolutely. Jim McGuinness. Good defending by Paddy Christie.
Yeah, what a game Paddy Christie is having again. Settled into it very quickly, even though he's conceded a point off Brendan Devaney. Good running again by Kieran Whelan. Paul McGonigal chasing. He scored from here before. Can he do it again? The umpires consult. The answer is no. That's the third wide of the game so far for Dublin. And just when there's a break in play, Martin, it's interesting that Heather Andrews has now gone back to corner back, gone off Brian Roper. Actually, I think he's gone back
the other way around.
Yes,
sorry.
he has actually. No, Heather Andrews is actually back out and Brian Roper again.
Here's John Gilday. Kieran Whelan trying to put a halt to his gallop. It's still Gilday. Dublin players protest, but he took too many steps, but he went unnoticed by the referee. Stephen Cluxton. Good ball. Out fires Darren McGee at the far side. Senan Connell playing deep. Colin Moore flicking it up fires Alan Brogan. Through the centre is Darren McGee. Brogan. McGee. There's a chance here. Desi Farrell is calling for it, but Darren McGee took the wrong option. He now pleads his innocence because he didn't spot two of his colleagues available inside. Great run again. Brogan is causing Donegal problems. An incisive overlap by McGee, but he really made a mess of it.
Yeah, and I certainly think Alan Brogan will be a bit disappointed that time. He was available for a 1-2, didn't receive it. That's frustrating for a forward, having made the run.
Frustrating for Tommy Lyons as well. Just to confirm that Heather Andrews is marking Brian Roper and following him. That's a poor pass back. Tony Blake has to come off his goal line. Eamon Doherty. They're playing it very tight. Shane Carr leaves it run on. And Donegal start the business from their own half-back line. Noel McGinley. John Gilday, now fully recovered. Raymond Sweeney survives the challenge from Johnny McGee and his brother Darren. Referee has blown his whistle, and it's going to be a free for Donegal.
Donegal are a very difficult team to play against, Martin, in the way they retain possession so well.
Adrian Sweeney battling with Coleman Goggins as he did the last day, and Stephen Cluxton comes off his line swiftly. Michael Hegarty to take the sideline kick. Sweeping it across over towards Brendan Devaney. Paddy Christie with him. He needs a little bit of support outside. It's not readily available. Good work by Paddy Christie. Excellent defending. Didn't foul the full forward. Desi Farr switching from left corner forward to right wing, but that's a terrible ball from Desi. That's going to be a sideline kick for Donegal at the far side.
Yes, the earlier composure has somewhat deserted Dublin at the moment. They're finding it a little bit more difficult to penetrate the Donegal defence. So two cornerbacks have come into the game are much better.
Jim McGuinness and Michael Hegarty. Leaving it in long. Adrian Sweeney passing it on. Stephen Cluxton has to come off his line and survive the challenge from Brian Roper as well. Good goalkeeping. Heather Andrews fires Darren McGee. Alan Brogan playing almost as a half forward rather than a corner forward. Referee has blown his whistle. And I think he's going to have a word with Noel McGinley. And Noel, the left corner back. He had a right close tussle with Alan Brogan. Indeed, some people within the Dublin camp felt that McGinley was fouling Alan Brogan all through the last day. And on this occasion, Pat McEnany just having a word, not showing a yellow card, but indicating to McGinley that his name is now being noted. Senan Connell. Good, strong player. Back outside is Kieran Whelan, this time with the left boot. And that is over the bar. 2 points for Kieran Whelan. The first with his right foot, the second with his left. This is a class performance from the Dublin midfielder. Here it is again. Senan Connell setting up the star from Raheny, and with the left boot on the outside, floated it over.
Yes, and that's 15 minutes since the last scored. But again, a superb display by Whelan so far, and a great score of its weaker left foot.
Brian Roper getting there ahead of Peadar Andrews. It was anticipated that Andrews would actually take Adrian Sweeney, but that hasn't materialised so far. Good running by Barry Cahill. He accelerated and certainly fooled Christy Toy, who was taking it rather easy, anticipating that the ball would come to him. Colin Moore floating this one in to the danger man. A chance for Ray Cosgrove. The umpires check, and the umpires say it's over the bar. Donegal players protest, but it's Cosgrove's second point. Tony Blake is quite annoyed with the umpire and continues to protest with Jimmy Finnegan from Donamoyne in County Monaghan as we look at the replay again.
Yes, it's inconclusive from this angle, although, Marty, I thought, to be honest with you, we were in line with the kick and that it had drifted slightly wide.
Yeah, I would have thought so as well. It was interesting that the umpire, who was better positioned, seemed to wait for the umpire, who was the goal man, to check, and I'm not too sure about the angle. Darren McGee. This time feeds Desi Farrell. Ray Cosgrove is all on his own. The goal scorer has done it again. It's Saturday night fever in Dublin. It's a goal and 2 points for Ray Cosgrove. Simplicity in motion. Donegal torn apart. Desi Farrell survived a late challenge, set up Ray Cosgrove and planted it in the net. And survive may not be the right word for Desi Farrell, because it was a hefty challenge as we look at it once more.
Yes, and all that came about actually in the first place from Darren McGee, I think, winning a kick out quite easily, giving a great ball to Desi. But the composure once again of Ray Cosgrove is admirable, and the way he just drop-kicked the ball with his left foot nonchalantly into the top of the net is a hallmark of a very, very good forward.
And Eamon Doherty has been shown a yellow card for that challenge in Desi Farrell. And it certainly merited a yellow.
Yes, there are a number of Donegal players. Here again it comes through, and again watch Eamon Doherty coming to Desi. Meets him late all right, but again, just watch the composure here. Onto the left foot, little drop kick into the top of the net.
There's a boot flying there from Brian Roper. John McNally is still down injured. Donegal have possession. It's now a free for the Northerners. Raymond Sweeney. John McNally has picked himself up the ground as Raymond tries to set up his brother, but it's a poor pass. Easily cut out by Barry Cahill, who's very much involved. Remember, he's playing number 2, but operating at left half back in Christy Toy. Desi Farrell giving it inside. It's a poor ball, however. Jim McGuinness. Paul Casey unable to reach it. John Gilday has to go back. And once again, it's Brian Roper.
Yes, there are a number of Donegal players who are not on the game today. The two full forwards that they're particularly dependent on are not showing the same activity off the ball at all as they were in the drawn match. Certainly Adrian Sweeney seems a lot more subdued than the last day. And Brendan Devaney is having his problems with Paddy Christie.
So John McNally has come to the sideline as we look at the replay here of Brian Roper and Peadar Andrews. But a blood substitution has in fact taken place. Jason Sherlock has come on and John McNally has gone off. That's a blood substitution. Paul McGonigal. Stephen Cluxton uses his captain, Coleman Goggins. Kieran Whelan. No option readily available. It's a poor ball. Noel McGinley easily intercepts. Kevin Cassidy. Up fires Adrian Sweeney. Punched away by Goggins. It's going to be a Donegal ball. There's John McNally just getting some medical attention from Dr. Pat Duggan. And the team physio there, James Allen.
I just want to kind of make a general point, Marty, that the energy levels are absent today in Donegal that they had the last day. With the exception of Brian Roper, the rest of the forward line is quite dead.
Linesman at the far side indicates it's a Dublin ball. That's Michael Monaghan, the linesman from Kildare. Dessie Farrell is so active, so involved. Paul Casey thinks about a point, but I think he should have caught it out again. That one didn't quite work. For a player who's really blossomed over the league and over the championship season.
And indeed, it's over on that far side of the field, along the Cusack stand, that Dublin are thriving at the moment. All of their attacks of any quality are happening on the far side, and Donegal are struggling over there.
Well won by Kieran Whelan. Johnny McGee. Dublin doing so well in that centre field area. Tony Blake setting up Noel McGinley. Dublin players converge again. Look at that, two of them. Alan Brogan and Dessie Farr. Damien Diver has to try and work his way out. Tremendous harassment and pressure. And that short passing game is putting Donegal under pressure. And Dublin defending when they don't have possession. So John McNally has recovered and Jason Sherlock has gone back to the substitute bench. John Gildea now. And again, look at the pressure. Wonderful. This time it's Ray Cosgrove. Donegal given no time whatsoever on the ball. They win a free this time, Martin.
Well, that's for sure, Marty. They're like a crowd of mad dogs snapping at Donegal heels. They're certainly pressurising Donegal out of this match.
Michael Hegarty getting down to the equaliser, the last Adrian Sweeney. First time really he's got the ball cleanly into his hands. Knocked away brilliantly by Goggins. Great defending by the Dublin captain. And it's Dublin once more. John McNally. In the centre, Johnny McGee. Back to McNally. They're holding possession. They're waiting to see who's going to make the run. That's a poor ball from John McNally. Now, can Donegal and Raymond Sweeney counter-attack? And once again, it's Brendan Devaney. Paddy Christie. It's 1 against 1. Crossover towards Sweeney. Knocked away by Coleman Goggins. And Peadar Andrews is back there to sweep up. Paul Casey. Senan Connon. Positions mean absolutely nothing to these teams. Kieran Whelan. We can generally see him around centre field. Alan Brogan taking up a position on the 40. And Tony Blake will keep it in play and use Raymond Sweeney. 33 minutes played in the first half. Donegal have only managed 2 points, Martin.
That's right, but the movement has stopped completely around the middle of the field and in their forward line. And the body language of some of their forwards is actually indicating that they've given up.
Ray Cosgrove. Back outside to Alan Brogan. Good block down by McGinley and Damien Diver. Paul McGonigal changes the direction. Christy Toy gets a touch to it. Keeps it in play. He did put a foot over the sideline, but not the ball. Christy Toy with Barry Cahill. This one sent in deep. Peadar Andrews and Coleman Goggins. It's Goggins that's there. And Paddy Christie. Creativity up front, sadly lacking in Donegal this evening. Colin Moore hasn't scored since the Meath game. I'm hoping for a sparkling game this afternoon. That's a good ball inside to Desi Farrell. Tries to swing this in. Should be a backs ball, and it's Damien Divers. His penetrating, incisive, exciting runs, badly needed now. And again, the direction of the pass is poor. Easily read by Paddy Christie.
Yes, but the movement is nil actually in the Donegal forward line, and I think that's the critical point, Marty. Very frustrating for the Donegal backs.
Darren McGee, a poor pass again. He was so impressive when coming on as a substitute. Now look where Brendan Devaney is. He's past the 65, now onto the 45, and he has little or no option. Uses Brian Roper. Adrian Sweeney playing behind his man, and it's not working. He's taking too many steps. He was looking for Adrian Sweeney, but Sweeney was playing it too far deep.
Certainly, yes, I agree with you, Marty. And Coleman Goggins certainly is the Indian sign on Adrian Sweeney today. He's managing to read the situation and outsmart Adrian Sweeney in most events.
And Adrian's strength is running out to the ball into space, but not trying to play the back from behind, if you know what I mean.
That is true, but I think the energy levels, as I said earlier, are absent in Donegal today, and that kind of passion and work ethic that they brought to the drawing game are not there at all in the forward line today. Their backs are coping quite well. Like, they've only conceded a goal and 5 points, even though they're under incessant pressure both at midfield and in their back line. But the forward line is non-existent, with the exception of Brian Roper maybe, who's working hard, but the rest of them certainly could come up a couple of notches in terms of effort.
Some concern about Colin Moran. As Dr. Pat Duggan again comes out onto the pitch, and of course Colin has been besieged by injuries, hip and back and hamstring. Indeed, out in Ballymun last January and February, he was swimming at 5 a.m. in the morning, thinking that perhaps he wouldn't get back in for the championship. Kevin Cassidy. Again, there's no running by the Donegal half-forward line, or indeed full forward line. Here's Brian Roper, whose work rate cannot be questioned, but again, just taking too much out of it, and it's an easy dispossession from a Dublin viewpoint. Kieran Whelan. John Gilday chasing. Looking around. Options are not quite available. They are now. Coming through the centre, Senan Connell. Goes for his second point, but it's an easy one for Tony Blake. Shane Carr. Jim McGuinness. 4 minutes of extra time, injury time, to be added on. Stephen Cluxton, quickest to react. Good intelligent ball. Out far is Paul Casey, captain of the Dublin Miners 2 years ago. Kieran Whelan. Dublin now in control, able to calmly look around and feed a colleague available. Senan Connell taking a lot out of possession. Desi Farrell lines up a shot, and it's floating just centimetres to the left.
Yes, for all the possession they have had, Dublin should be away more than a goal and 5 points to 2 points up at the moment. They're monopolising the middle of the field. They're getting a lot of balls in front, but the forward line isn't essentially registering enough scores for them.
Substitution at midfield for Donegal. Jim McGuinness has been taken off, and Kevin Rafferty is coming on from Letterkenny. Under 21 star this year. Played at midfield in the National Football League and was quite superb in 2 games, in particular against Westmeath and Galway. John Gilday. An acknowledgement by Mickey Moran and his fellow selectors that they have a big problem at centre field. Sideline ball, Dublin.
Yeah, but the tackling, Marty, of the Dublin team from 15 back to goalkeeper is absolutely excellent. The pressure they're putting on the Donegal player possession is way better than it was the last day.
Kieran Whelan again. Always seems to be available for that extra pass. Hits it powerfully and accurately. One with the right, one with the left, and we're back onto the right foot again. He's giving a superb performance at centre field. 3 points for Kieran Whelan. Kevin Raftery. Damien Dibber making this run. He's fouled, and that's going to be a free for Donegal. Surely it'll be at least a 6, if not a 7-point advantage at half-time for Dublin, and they richly deserve it, Mark.
Oh, very much so. They had much the better of the first half, and Donegal certainly need half-time quickly to go and regroup and get players to come out of the stupor that some of them are in at the moment.
Brendan Devaney, and it's gone off a Dublin defender and out for the first 45. There isn't the same passion, the same buzz about Donegal in this first half, Martin.
Well, it's a cliche, Marty, but centre field is vital in Gaelic football, and today Kieran Whelan is the absolute master of everything. He's given an imperious display in the first half. His 3 points from play have embellished things, but he's certainly been given an endless supply to his forward line.
4 points in 5 games for Michael Hegarty. His last was against Meath, and this is his first against Dublin. It's a 6-point advantage for Dublin at half-time. A powerful display, a very impressive display by Dublin, and particularly a performance by Kieran Whelan with 3 points. But Ray Cosgrove, yet again, the hero for Dublin, with a goal and 2 points in the opening half. Half-time score here at Croke Park in this quarter-final replay. Dublin 1-6, Donegal 3 points. Much indeed for both managers to think about, to talk about, and Mickey Moran probably with the greatest task ahead of him. As we go down to the sideline and join Robbie Irwin.
Mark Crossan from Donegal, a long way behind at half-time.
Things just aren't going right for us out there. Kieran Whelan's just lording in midfield, and we're not just getting any breaks. We don't seem to be putting any tackles, and hopefully in the second half we'll come out and do a wee bit better.
Jim Gavin, it's a big difference in the midfield. Kieran Whelan is having an outstanding game.
Yeah, super game from Kieran for the first half, 3 points. So he can be pretty satisfied with his overall performance, and so can the team for that matter. Possibly if we were going in with a total of 10 or 11 points, I think we would have been more pleased, to be honest, for the amount of dominance we had. There's only 2 goals in it, so it's a very open game at the moment.
Mark, 3 points from the first half. Very, very poor shooting.
Poor performance, particularly with the likes of forwards that we have. We don't seem to be getting the ball in right to them. There's 2 big, high, long balls we pumped in, and they're not winning it. There seems to be too much space too between the 50 and the full forward line. So we need to work on that in half-time as well.
Dublin teams have seen bigger leads being lost to Jim in the second halves.
Certainly have, and in the drawn game we were 3 points up a couple of minutes ago, and we let it slip, and we're well aware at this stage the potential of Donegal, and I suppose if Devaney or Sweeney get a bit of space up front, they could do damage. So we have to really concentrate for the second half.
Thank you very much, Jim Gavin and Mark Crossan.
Thank you very much, Robbie. It's a 6-point advantage for Dublin at half-time. We'll wonder what Kevin McStay thinks about the first half and what will happen in the second. But first, we'll take a short commercial break.
So then it's half-time in this football quarter-final championship replay between Dublin and Donegal. And just to check on the statistics from the first 35 minutes of football here at Croke Park, and they show us that Dublin leading the match by 1-6 3 points. 9 frees to Dublin, 12 to Donegal in that first half. 6 wides to Dublin, 5 for Donegal, just 145 as well, which of course Michael Hegarty scored for Donegal, and 2 yellow cards. Dublin going a bit hard down the left wing after in that first half. Colin Moran and Desi Farrell both booked. Well, Dublin fans watching this game in all parts. Down in Cairns in Australia, we got there's a few Dublin fans watching down there. And closer to home, it's Peter Meany's birthday. He's a big Dublin supporter. I think it's his mum or somebody who's up there. Just asked us to say hello to him. Kevin McStay, they'll be very happy with what they've seen so far.
They will, and obviously, Michael, they could be ahead by even more. The game could be over at half-time. It's all about Dublin playing superb. I'd hate to be Mickey Moran at the moment. Where does he start? You know, Donegal just don't look like they're willing to compete in the game. And Dublin, in fairness, have taken the game right by the scruff of the neck and tore into them, and they're doing extremely well.
And got this goal as well, which was a big boost.
Great goal, great hand pass by Desi. Desi wasn't playing great, but look at the composure of him here.
We were talking as well about Ray Cosgrove before the programme, and he's done it again.
Lovely little sidestep of the keeper, a little drop into the net. Beautiful goal. But this was all about Desi. He made this goal superbly for Ray Cosgrove, in all fairness. Excellent finish. He scored again. He can't stop scoring.
No, he can't. And as you said, Desi Farrell was brave in that situation there in setting that up for him. Dublin, as you said, have been all over them, particularly at midfield. And Kieran Whelan is having one of those days that Kieran can have and be absolutely brilliant.
Well, we know all about Kieran Whelan, you know, down over the years. Fabulous athlete, great taking the ball at pace and kicking the ball over the bar on the run. And watch this for a lovely pair of points that he scored right from underneath the Cusack. And we were right behind that one ourselves, Michael. Fantastic score. Absolutely superb. Now he's absolutely lording it now.
And that's one of the 3 points that he scored. Excellent. Here's another one from midfield.
Like, I mean, Donegal just have not been able to put tabs on him. John Gildea is struggling really badly with him. Jim McGuinness has already gone off. It's hard to see where they're going to come back into this. And on this form, Whelan, this is magnificent football from him. He's been promising it.
Kicking points left and right on that one. Yeah. Dublin, as you said, could have been even further ahead. They had a goal chance here, which hopped off to the underside of the crossbar.
Yes, when I saw it first from behind the goal, I thought maybe they had crossed the line, but not at all. Alan Brogan, who's been quiet, made a lot of this himself. You'll see him making a lovely run.
This was after Kieran Whelan scoring the point. He comes out, wins the ball at midfield.
Lovely run in here and gets back in under the corner back. Nice, he just stops him, pushes him out of the way, has a cut for it. And that was very, very close. So, I mean, it was coming. The goal was coming. Dublin got no more than they deserved. Excellent bit of skill here. Brogan is a really classy player. Not as lively as Dublin would have liked him to be so far. There's more in him for sure.
All right, Kevin McStay, thank you very much for that. We have another commercial break to take here on the programme. So then a 6 points advantage to Donegal. Can they do something about it? There's a place in the All-Ireland semi-final if they win this game. If they lose, it's all over for this year. Join us after the break.
French.
Welcome back again to Croke Park. Half-time then in this football quarter-final replay between Dublin and Donegal. Dublin leading 1-6 to 3 points at half-time. I was just saying to you there a second ago, Kevin McStay, I wonder did the delay at the start of the match have any effect on Donegal, because they haven't quite bucked up and woken up into this game yet.
Oh, they've been just so dead, Michael. It's amazing for an All-Ireland quarter-final. The lively team we saw here a fortnight ago, they're just dead on their feet. Hard to say, really, but it's going to fill a lot of paragraphs in Donegal papers this week coming, because, you know, the reason is impossible to guess. They look just dead. Maybe it has had a big effect on them. Very hard to say, really.
Credit, though, to Dublin. They have put the old Jack Charlton thing. They've put Donegal under pressure at every level on the field here and really worked hard at it.
Donegal haven't helped themselves with this high-risk strategy they have of hand-passing the ball. We've seen all right behind them all the hits they're taking, the pressure, and they are turning over the ball. But that's taken a lot of energy out of Dublin. And if there was one small little hope I'd give Donegal is it's freshened, the breeze has freshened. Dublin have put a lot of energy into the first half. There may be some hope for them if they can get some early scores, but they're struggling everywhere. It's hard to see where they're going to come from.
The breeze has freshened. They will have that breeze in the second half, as you said, and it's a bigger factor than we might think, because you look around the stadium here, you don't really notice flags flying so much, but it's a nice little blow here. We can feel it down at ground level.
And they're going to need it, because they've got to get their full forward line. I mean, Adrian Sweeney, remember Adrian Sweeney? Fantastic the last day. We haven't seen him in Croke Park so far.
Sent us a postcard, Adrian.
Well, I mean, you got to say that. But credit to the Dublin full-back line. They've been immense now. Devaney again threatened very early, and he's just quietly left the game again. Now maybe they can burst on it. They have to. Roper's the only guy showing a bit of promise, but he's turning over too much ball for Donegal. I just hate to be Mickey Moore at this stage. I mean, he's got 15 problems all over the field that he's got to sort out. They've just got to make a promise themselves to play football. They've got to get into it.
Well, they're coming back out onto the field again. I think another factor, Kevin, as well. I mean, a player like Jimmy McGuinness, who is such a distinctive part of the Donegal team for the last couple of years, to have him taken off in the first half, that's a psychological blow apart from anything else.
It's a massive blow, and coupled with the John Gildea injury, he has that dead leg. Okay, he's not showing it to us as we've been watching the half, but he's definitely struggling with it. He's not the John Gildea we saw a fortnight ago. As you say, McGuinness is gone off. That's a huge blow. Your midfield really out of the game at the moment.
Well, the cheer going up on the hill and all around the stadium as for the Dubs who go back out into the field. I guess Tommy Lyons will be saying, well, he wasn't here the last day, so how could they have won without him? They're 6 points up at half-time. Let's go back again to Martin and to Marty.
Thank you very much, Michael. Indeed, Tommy Lyons and Dublin looking very good at the start of this second half, leading by 6 points. Interesting, just a statistic for you. Adrian Sweeney is the only player on the Donegal team that has yet to have a shot at goal. It says a lot about the type of ball and the quality of ball that's going into him, and indeed the defending by Dublin. Mickey Moran, well, as Kevin McStay, you wouldn't like to be him at half-time because there are lots of problems, but no better man to produce something out of this total disarray that Donegal produced in the opening 35 minutes. Second half begins here in Croke Park. A place in the All-Ireland football semi-final 2002 on the first Sunday in September is at stake. Kevin Cassidy. Donegal needs scores, as Kevin was saying to Michael, and they need them very quickly. Johnny McGee laying it off to Barry Cahill and Noel McGinley. John Gilday, you can see that left thigh heavily strapped now at the start of this second half. Christy Toy, Adrian Sweeney, it's a better type of ball into him, but he needs support outside. It's a crossfield ball which is terrible. An easy one for Paul Casey. John McNally. Over far is Colin Moran. Chasing him, Kevin Cassidy. Still Colin. Thought about having a shot from there onto the left boot, and it's an easy ball for Tony Blake. It's the sort of thing that all managers would be critical of, dropping simple shots like that into the opponent's goalkeeper's arms. Kevin Rafferty playing at left half forward. It's interesting at the start of this second half as well that they're not playing a third man midfield. This is Brendan Devaney. Outside him, Michael Hegarty. It's a terrible ball yet again. It still could come Donegal's way. Adrian Sweeney, Coleman Goggins trying to keep him at bay, and Adrian Sweeney has his first shot at goal, and it's a point. Donegal need this man, and they need to feed him as much as possible. It's down to a 5-point lead for Dublin, and it's Adrian Sweeney sending it over.
Yeah, they certainly needed that score, Marty. In the first half, I thought they looked weary, dispirited, lacking conviction, played disjointed in general, but that type of a score is something that could inspire them. They need more of that, though.
Darren McGee. Fine catch by Senan Connell. Damien Divers playing left half back. Darren McGee goes for the return to Kieran Whelan with the left foot. And this is just sneaking to the wrong side of the post. Quickly taking kick out, won't be allowed on this occasion. And Tony Blake will have to do it again. Fine catch here by Senan Connell. Equally fine catch by Raymond Sweeney. John Gilday tries to put the ball in front of Adrian Sweeney. Coleman Goggins fouling, free to Donegal. On the Donegal 45, Adrian Sweeney. What options are available to him up front? Who's making the run? And it's a terrible ball yet again. Easily intercepted by Johnny McGee. Seemed to hop off Eamon Doherty, who consequently fouls Ray Cosgrove. The referee has blown his whistle. And it's going to be a free for Dublin.
Yes, quite clearly that time, Dave. Dublin forward has been fouled by Eamon Doherty.
This was a good run by Cosgrove, but Doherty fouling him. And eventually the referee giving a free to the full forward. And before you say it, Martin Kearney, he's taking it off his hands. Has plenty of height and it has the accuracy as well. A goal and 3 points for the Kilmacud Crokes clubman.
Yeah, it's a good score by Ray Cosgrove again, and again it's interesting today. John McNally took the place kicks today. Cosgrove seems a lot more reliable today than was McNally the last day.
Johnny McGee spraying it over to the far side. Ray Cosgrove, Alan Brogan wants it quick. Cosgrove with the left boot, sending this in. Tony Blake has the situation under control. Kevin Cassidy from Gweedore. John Gilday and Cassidy combining. Getting a touch, Peter Andrews. Sideline ball, Donegal. Quickly taken by Damien Diver. Devaney tried to knock it back far as Kevin Raftery, but picked up instead by Dublin. Paddy Christie receiving the pass earlier from Johnny McGee. Peter Andrews. It's a poor pass. A break for Raymond Sweeney. Christie Toy. Peter Andrews harassing. Christie Toy was looking for a free, but there was no free. Senan Connell under pressure from John Kildare. We welcome viewers from RT1 News as you join us with another point for Dublin, scored by Senan Connell. A game very much controlled by Dublin as you join us, those viewers from RT1 News. Dublin led at half-time by 1-6 to 3 points, a point by Adrian Sweeney and a point subsequently by Dublin. Reaffirms their superiority of the first half. Virtually Dublin in control in most sectors of the field. Ray Cosgrove top scorer with a goal and 3 points. Senan Connell getting his first in this particular match so far, and already Jim McGuinness has gone off from centre field because Kieran Whelan has been the star of the first half for Dublin with 3 great points. And on this occasion Donegal just send it wide. So as you leave us, it's Dublin 1 goal and 8 points, Donegal 4 points. Jason Sherlock going to be introduced, and the man that's coming off is Desi Farr. Well, Desi has certainly done his part by creating that goal for Ray Cosgrove. His clubmate Jason Sherlock replacing him. And like Desi, they've been the 2 super subs so far in this championship campaign, introduced in every game. And of course, Jason Sherlock laid off the goal for Ray Cosgrove in the drawn match against Donegal. Beautiful catch. Kieran Whelan. Johnny McGee laying it into space. Oh, beautiful. Senan Connell flicking it on far as Paul Casey. This deserves a score to finish. Thanks to Senan Connell. Can he do it himself? Magnificent! Taken off and put back on in the drawn match. The Nafiana clubman has been producing the goods, but it was his vision here that set up the interplay between himself and Paul Casey, and he finished absolutely beautiful.
That's 2 great scores by Senan Connell in the last couple of minutes, but Marty, the word swagger comes to mind, and the swagger has returned to Dublin football in the second half. They're playing lovely football, controlled football and winning football at the moment.
Substitution coming on. It means Donegal have now replaced their first choice midfielders. Brendan Boyle is the player that's now on, and John Gilday joins Jim McGuinness in the substitute bench. An acknowledgement that Donegal are in deep trouble in the centre of the field. Is this game beyond them, Martin Carney? Donegal.
Unless they get a goal quickly, Marty, I think it is beyond them, because the full forward line isn't working as hard today as it was the last year. They're not getting the supply either, Marty.
Noel McGinley. Foul by Kieran Whelan. Free to Donegal.
Well, it must be acknowledged, Marty, Dublin are way more competitive, way quicker. They were shot by the last day, stunned the last day, but by God, they're answering everybody today.
much more focused. Heather Andrews intercepting, setting up Coleman Goggins. Eamon Doherty working hard as always at full back, but passes are going astray, and well, that was an unforced error, but there's so much pressure normally from Dublin that Donegal are just happy to distribute the ball in any old way. Breaking ball this time favours Paul McGonigal. No running by the front two men for Donegal. Again, passes going astray. This time it's Brendan Boyle. Colin Moore. Shane Carr. Extremely solid and confident all through this replay. Brian Roper. Couldn't keep it in. That's going to be a sideline ball. What must be going through this man's mind, because they came here so confident. They rested up well, they relaxed, they did a lot of swimming over the last couple of weeks, but certainly it seems to have taken more out of them than Dublin. And perhaps maybe the return of Tommy Lyons is a great motivator.
Well, I think the big factor, Marty, is that Dublin were the provincial champions, have been out of competitive football for a while before the drawn game.
Here's Adrian Sweeney setting up Brendan Boyle. Look at this for defending. A little bit rushed and inexperienced by Paul Casey. Challenged by Kieran Whelan. He's correctly whistled up by Pat McEnany, and that's going to be a free for Donegal. Just noting Kieran's name, you can hear the challenge here on Michael Hegarty. Once the boot was used in an effort to gain possession, it was going to be a free. Adrian Sweeney sends it over the bar. It's a long journey back for the Northerners, and I mean that in the sense of getting back on the scoreboard here. It just seems beyond them.
Yes, the point I was making there, Marty, is this, that Dublin have been out of competitive football by being provincial champions. They needed the drawn game the last day to get them back to the pace, but by God, they've certainly answered everything today by showing how focused they are, playing very, very well, whereas Donegal levels have dropped somewhat.
Coleman Goggins. Barry Cahill giving it long. Shane Carr under pressure from Jason Sherlock. Eamon Doherty gives it back to Carr. Brings the play over this side. Paul McGonigal. Raymond Sweeney. Full forward fouled. Free quickly taken. Damien Diver has gone up into a forward position, and so too is Senan Conno. Excellent defending. And I know I've mentioned it before, but he often plays as a halfback for his club Na Fianna. Darren McGee joins other famous brothers that have played for Dublin. With Johnny, of course, here this afternoon, you think of David and Michael Hickey, Des and Lar Foley. This is Jason Sherlock. Onto the right foot, and will it curl over, hits the post, and just gone wide. Showing all his dash and character here, Jason Sherlock, but just very unfortunate to hit off the post.
As I must say, the pressure being applied by Dublin is relentless and unforgiving, and there doesn't seem to be any area in the field at the moment, apart from the Donegal full back line, where they're actually on top. Shane Carr is having a very good game at right corner back, I must say.
The punch down from Kieran Whelan favours Colin Moore. Taking up a good position was John McNally, and he kicks it straight over the bar. Has discovered his form in recent months. 3 points against Kildare, 1 point the last day of the drawn match, and this is his first here in the replay. Created by Colin Moore. It looked as if it was going astray. It had plenty of height, but look at that, straight over the crossbar. Damien Diver. Fouled by Senan Connell. Adrian Sweeney unable to reach it as the ball seemed to slice off his boot. This is by far Donegal's worst performance, and we've seen a lot of their games this season, Martin.
Yeah, the wheels have come off the wagon certainly today, but you must credit Dublin for the way they have upped their performance from the last day. They're way faster altogether than they were, way more purposeful, and the quality of their interplay is excellent.
Barry Cahill combining with Senan Connell, who's going for his second point. This drops in. And Donegal relieve the pressure. Raymond Sweeney trying the left flank. See if he can create an opening for Brian Roper. Peadar Andrews with Paddy Christie in total control. Paul Casey plays his club football with Lucan Sarsfields. Donegal going to bring in Colin McFadden from the St. Michael's Dunfanaghy club, and actually he's replacing his own clubmate, Christy Toy. Normally a corner forward. Colin McFadden was a minor last year for Donegal, played a couple of league games and came on against Down and Armagh on their journey here to Croke Park. Kieran Whelan setting up Jason Sherlock. Look at the amount of time he has on the ball. Senan Connell makes a good run, but Damien Diver did everything right. Good defending. Can Donegal produce something in this second half to get them back into this match? Paul McGonigal. It's still the two-man attack. Good working here by Colin McFadden. The pass is behind Brian Roper. McFadden again, anxious to get the return. Brendan Boyle laying it off for Adrian Sweeney. And that goes into the Nally stand. Donegal need to really try and reshape themselves as we introduce another substitute, or rather Donegal introduce another substitute, or Dublin introduce another substitute. Shane Ryan is coming on, and it looks like Colin Moran is the player that's gone off. And Shane Ryan had quite a good game in the drawn match, scored the opening point, and many people were surprised he was actually not selected for this game.
Yeah, there was a 20-minute period in particular, Marty, where he was absolutely outstanding, and again, somewhat unlucky to have lost his place.
Paul Casey and Coleman Goggins combining here. Good work by Paul McGonigal. He manages to squeeze it past Michael Hegarty. Brendan Devaney beaten by Paddy Christie. John McNally got a touch. Plenty of Donegal players around. This is Noel McGinley coming up from left corner back. Alan Brogan fouling, and that's going to be a free for Donegal.
One of the big issues about Donegal at the moment, they've brought on three forwards, or brought on three subs. None of those subs have played any football really during the summer, either at club or with the county. And you can see from watching them out there, Martin, that they're completely off the pace of the game.
Michael Hegarty. It's a poor ball, and the umpire signals it is a 45. Terry Kiernan from Carrickmacross, the umpire. Dublin panel, I'm sure, satisfied, and they must feel now that the job has been done. Stephen Cluxton has been certainly very consistent as Donegal take the 45 quickly. Brendan Devaney turns and sends it wide.
Well, the game has been dying a slow death certainly about from halfway through the first half, but unless Donegal score very, very quickly, I'm afraid the death will be very sudden.
And Taoiseach Bertie Ahern must be quite pleased. He must feel at this early stage that Dublin will be playing on the All-Ireland football semi-final in September. Nicely picked up by Brendan Boyle. Uses Paul McGonigal. Back there is Johnny McGee. Coleman Goggins. Fouled. And another free for the Blues. The referee is blowing his whistle again. And he wants to have a word with Brian Roper.
Yeah, I think Brian gave him a little bit of lip after that free kick. And again, probably will get a yellow card for his troubles.
No, didn't show the yellow card, just obviously noted his name in the book. And a little bit of a verbal warning. Darren McGee. No options coming from full forward line, so he has to go back to Senan Connell. Good crossfield ball over for as Jason Sherlock. Making the run is Alan Brogan. Facing him, Eamon Doherty. Brogan turns and sends it over the bar. Jason Sherlock involved. Alan Brogan, the finisher. Brogan is a very hard worker and also a scorer.
Well, that score sums up the game as far as I'm concerned. Brogan that time made a 60-yard dash from one corner to the other to get on the end of that ball before firing it over the bar. The work ethic that's there is absent in the Donegal team today, and Dublin must be commended for the way they've upped their performance.
5 Dublin players have now scored. Can Shane Ryan make it 6? Steps by the challenge of one Donegal player. Gives it back for Kieran Whelan. And that is going over the bar. He's on form. And once again, this time it's with the left foot. This is a wonderful display. 2 points with the right, 2 points with the left. The name is Kieran Whelan.
Oh yeah, wonderful support play that time for Shane Ryan. The way Kieran came in behind him and a great score of his left foot. The game is becoming a little bit of a procession at the moment. Donegal have nothing really with what to answer the Dublin dominance with.
Fine catch by Kevin Rafferty. Michael Hegarty. Quick ball inside. Picked up by Brendan Devaney, and the referee has blown his whistle. And while Stephen Cluxton saved the shot from Colin McFadden, the whistle had gone. So it's a free for Donegal. Brendan Devaney sends it over for a second point. Well, we must credit Dublin with a wonderful performance here, because Martin Kearney and myself have seen a lot of Donegal games since the championship began, and really we've never seen Donegal play so badly.
No, but it's not fair to talk about Donegal playing badly, Martin, because Dublin have been so good today. Dublin have been the team that made the necessary improvement. We often see sequels being a bit of a disappointment in terms of kind of competitive matches, and today will be that case, but it's all because Dublin improved. Dublin were the team probably with more room to improve, and throughout the field today there's a greater pace to them, there's a greater energy level to them, there's a greater urgency to them, and Donegal have been unable to match.
Rory Kavanagh introduced to the Donegal attack, and Brian Roper is the player who makes way. Ray Cosgrove thought about giving it to John McNally. Here's Shane Ryan. The challenge came in from Paul McGonigal, picked up by Eamon Doherty. Again, Colin McFadden getting there, but the break favours Dublin. Coleman Goggins, not known for his scoring exploits, but certainly a player and a captain leading today, and certainly must be pleasing his manager. And Tommy Lyons now must feel at this stage a little bit easy that his team are in the All-Ireland semi-final.
Yeah, we must credit Coleman Goggins today. He's played very well. He was under a lot of pressure the last day, Marty, from Adrian Sweeney, but he's been the master of every ball that has gone in between the two of them. And he certainly will be an example of those who have upped their performance significantly.
Some fine skills on display here. And a fine catch yet again by Kieran Whelan. 16, packed to capacity and really enjoying what they're seeing here this afternoon. Tony Blake with the kick out. 10 minutes left here in Croke Park. And it's all Dublin. Yet again, Kieran Whelan. Paul Casey saw that Peter Andrews was being marked, so changed the direction of the play. John McNally played well at centre half forward. Dropping this in, Eamon Doherty. Noel McGinley. Brendan Boyle. Rory Kavanagh involved. Adrian Sweeney. Now remember, he's 13 and he's the danger man, and he's now inside his own half of the field. Free to Donegal. Available is Raymond Sweeney. Again, the pass inside, not a very accurate one. Well won back by Colin McFadden. Stephen Cluxton, good goalkeeping. Excellent play by the number one.
Sums up their day. Dublin are going for the ball. Donegal are standing waiting for it coming to them.
Alan Brogan. Noel McGinley. Good ball. In fires Shane Ryan. Can he score his second point of the championship? Loses his footing just a little bit, floating this one in. And Tony Blake taking charge. Shane Carr from the Four Masters Club in Donegal Town. He's now at centre field. Michael Hegarty floating this one in. Colin McFadden knocking it down from Brendan Devaney. Inside, there's a chance here for goal, and Cluxton leaves it off, and the ball goes wide. This was really, I suppose, the first opportunity for Donegal of a goal. It was well off the target, and Stephen Cluxton knew that's the way it was going to go. Kevin Rafferty had the shot.
Yes, he came up well in support that time to get the shot off, but unfortunately from a Donegal point of view it is well wide. But again, Cluxton narrowed the angle very effectively.
Looks like Colin McFadden has picked up an injury. And Pat McEnany bringing him over for his Sinead Trearty. And Conal Dunn is the player that's going to be introduced. Conal Dunn plays his club football with St. Eunan's in Letterkenny. This is his championship debut. He's a student in National University of in Galway.
That is correct, but a number of these players, Marty, as I said earlier, who have come on for Donegal, have been untried in championship football all summer. This is far too big a stage for them.
Peter Andrews being fouled, and a free to Dublin. Not a good ball inside for Paul Casey, and it was easily read by Shane Carr. Beats his captain Michael Hegarty. Brendan Devaney looking for support. The only one available is Kevin Rafferty. Hits this well and sends it over the bar. Paul Kern going to be introduced for Dublin as we watch this score. But there was no other option for Brendan Devaney but to pass it to Kevin Rafferty. And while it worked out fine, nobody else was really running. So here's Paul Curran, one of 2 survivors of the Dublin team in '92, and he comes into the Dublin half-back line. Donegal on the attack again, and referee Pat Beckinaney informing Brendan Devaney that he was being fouled, or rather he was fouling, and that's going to be a free to Dublin. Well, I really don't think anybody could have anticipated that this is the way it would work out, but I think the point that you were making about the provincial champions from Leinster not having a game for a couple of weeks, and that extra game seemed to pay dividends. Good work right here by Conal Dunn. Look where Shane Ryan is. It's going to be a free for Donegal.
No, but it worried me during the match, or during the week, Marty, from a Donegal point of view.
It just isn't Donegal's day, is it?
No,
that's a terrible miss.
Bad miss, but again, it worried me during the week, as I was saying, Marty, when I read that they hadn't been able to train since a drawn game because they were so exhausted mentally and physically. The only kind of training they did, from what I read, was swimming. And that said to me that their energy levels had been totally dissipated by the drawn game. They haven't been able to revive them.
But Darren Homan is coming on for Darren McGee. It's normally has been in the championship the other way around. The 2 boys wish each other well, but it shows you that there's quite an amount of talent in this Dublin squad. Darren Homan, first choice midfielder with Kieran Whelan all through the championship. Gets his chance now to prove himself. Mind you, there isn't much time. Michael Hegarty under pressure. Floats this one in. Peter Andrews surely being fouled. Got a hand to it. And it's Kieran Whelan that's back there for Dublin. A very powerful display by the Dubs. Masters in every sector of the field. Jason Shirley. This is Paul McGonigal. They will try once more. Dangerous ball. Stephen Cluxton obviously calls for it. Good calling by the young under-21 keeper, one of Leinster under-21 and indeed a Leinster senior this season. And is recognised now as one of the best in the business at the moment. Shane Ryan. Can Dublin finish in a flourish? He has options. He gives it to Alan Brogan. Will they be satisfied with a point? They are. Unselfishly, Shane Ryan steadied himself up here, thought about the pass, thought about it again, then decided to give it to young Alan Brogan, and he took his point. Another alteration in the Dublin side. Owen Bennis is going to be introduced. Confirmation of the scoreline. Owen Bennis, nephew of Richie and Phil Bennis from Patrickswell and Limerick hurling fame.
Certainly the pedigree is good there, and I think what Tommy Lyons is doing at the moment is giving his bench a run, because they're so far in front now. Just a question of by how much they're going to win.
Both teams have used up their quota of 5 substitutes. No more allowed. Good catch by Rory Kavanagh. Into the space, well monitored by Coleman Goggins and under control by the captain, Peter Andrews. Darren Homan. Backfires Paul Casey. And that's going to be a sideline ball to Donegal. Linesman at the far side, Eddie Whelan from County Laois, giving the decision. Oh, beautiful catch. Great play, Paddy Christie. And Brendan Devaney, in frustration, pulls Paddy Christie to the ground.
It's Certainly that seals his display all day. He's been absolutely wonderful today and in the drawn game. Fabulous bit of fielding.
This is the incident again. One of the joys of Gaelic football, high fielding, and Paddy Christie showed it here. And the Donegal full forward in frustration, throwing Christie to the ground. But Donegal have looked very lackluster, just not in tune with this replay. And maybe indeed that point that Martin was making earlier, that the last game just seemed to drain them of all their energy. But certainly Donegal have met a Dublin team that are very focused and very up for this match. Paul McGonigal will initiate another move. The man in possession is Kevin Rafferty. 3 minutes of extra time to be added on. Brendan Devaney colliding with Johnny McGee. Should that be a hot ball? That's what the Dublin players are saying to the referee.
Well, strictly speaking, the rule says that should be
That's
a hot
right.
ball.
Not a good day in the office for Mickey Moran and his county here. Remember, Donegal playing in their 7th championship match here this evening, and just everything going terribly wrong.
Yes, devoid of inspiration, in particular when the two inside players, Adrian Sweeney and Brendan Devaney, are held. The rest of the team, I think, suffers as a consequence. And again, losing the two midfielders didn't help. But to be fair, before either of them went off, they were under the cosh from both Kieran Whelan and Darren McGee.
Paul McGonigal continues to work hard at centre field. Nice interplay here from Conal Dunn. Again, they seem to be devoid of any creative ideas. And once more, it's Johnny McGee. His defensive colleagues have been very much on top here in Croke Park. Eamon Doherty trying to get a ball in far as Brendan Devaney. Chasing him this time is Peadar Andrews. Cutting across is Darren Holman. Good block down. Nothing going right for Donegal, but Dublin so sharp. Look at where Ray Cosgrove is. He's the full forward. Kieran Whelan being chased by Kevin Cassidy. They change from one wing to the other flank. This time it's Coleman Goggins giving it inside. Owen Bennis chasing. Damien Diver standing between himself and goal. Jason Sherlock. Shane Carr defending. Taken away from him, Tony Blake making sure it finds touch. That's going to be a 45.
Okay, we've talked about Donegal going very badly, but I think there's one player that should be exempt from any criticism, and that's Shane Carr, right cornerback. A lad maybe who struggled earlier in the championship, but he's played manfully today with great courage, and at times when the rest of the defence were under huge pressure.
So Paddy Christie is going to have a lash here at this 45. Referee just blowing the whistle. And it goes over the bar. Scored a point against Kildare. That was from play. Scored a point from a 45 just now. Nice skill here from Owen Bennis. Nice little pickup. And in the end, it's probably a reflection of Dublin's control. Donegal are out of the championship. Tommy Lyons is back, and Dublin are back with a magnificent performance, in control all the way through. At half-time, they led by 6 points, never seemed to be threatened, and Mickey Moran sportingly congratulates his managerial colleague and opponent, Tommy Lyons. It's a day when Dublin were firmly the masters. Dublin 114, Donegal 7 points. It's quite a comprehensive victory for the Ducks. Hill 16 and the Dublin supporters will rejoice. They're the first to go through. They'll be waiting for their opponents from tomorrow evening's game in Navan in Park Talton, when Sligo and Armagh will also replay. But Dublin can now rejoice. They're in the last 4 of this season's football championship. And obviously that game last week brought Dublin on by leaps and bounds, because this was really a wonderful game.
That was a great game from the Dublin point of view, and the victory was both comprehensive and deserved, Marty.
Dave Billings, one of the Dublin selectors, congratulating Shane Ryan and Colin Moore, and they're happy. Let's go down to the sideline now for some post-match reaction and join Robbie Irwin.
I'm joined first by Mickey Moore, and Mickey Moore, commiserations.
Oh, no excuses, no excuses. Dublin were superb. They were up for the game more than we were. They were tuned in, very focused. Battled, put us in the back foot all over the place. I know the man beside me might be the man on the match here, and he was tremendous. But look, if I could just say, young Tuxton was superb in the goals. He was out like a full-back, and he'd saved them a couple of times. So things ran for Dublin because they made it happen. We weren't in the races today. Look at the 2 goal chances we had near the end. We just didn't put them away, and that was our day.
It's been a great championship for you, though.
That's not great when you get beat, but no excuses whatsoever. Dublin by far the better team. I hope and wish that they go on the whole way, but they were superb today.
Thank you very much indeed, Mickey Moore. And Kieran Whelan, congratulations. Your thoughts on that victory?
Yeah, we're happy enough. Happy to be in All-Ireland semi-final. It's been a while. It happened for us today. Didn't happen the last day, and we were probably lucky to be still in it the last day. Donegal was superb the last day. But fine side. All credit to them. They came down here, and we just got the breaks in the day. Everything seemed to happen for us.
You really outplayed them all over the pitch in most departments.
We did, but that's just the way football goes. Some days it happens for you, some days it doesn't. And today was our day, and you know, the level of expectation there now, and we just have to keep that level high for the semi-final.
Your own performance, Kieran, superb at midfield, and some wonderful scores.
Yeah, well, as I said, you know, it opened up for me today. It doesn't always open up for me. But I'm happy. It's been a while, you know. I'm happy to get back to the list.
Well, Kieran, it was such an outstanding performance that the RTE panel have voted you today's man of the match. Congratulations.
Cheers. Thanks so much.
Tommy Lyons is with us here. Tommy, welcome back to Croke Park. What a day to come back.
Yeah, it's great to be back here. Yeah, beats watching in the Blackrock Clinic, you know. But, you know, I just think today they matured enough that kept the ball a lot more. And, you know, a lot of players were talking about Dublin's boxing, and hurt the lads a bit. You know, one thing this team hasn't got is a lack of boxing. Whatever about making mistakes, and yeah, we made plenty of them. We have a lot of work to do, but by God, they were good today.
They were good all over the pitch, but we've just given Kieran Whelan the man of the match award. He was superb.
Yeah, Kieran Whelan's a good footballer. I wouldn't be surprised with that, you know. And he's at big games. That man was sick in his bed for 7 days after the last game. And that's how big the performance was today. But I thought all over the pitch, we tackled all Donegal's strengths and we didn't let them play. And, you know, I just think it was a very good performance.
Well done today. Well done. And best of luck in the semi-final. Tommy Lyons.
Thank you very much, Robbie. Indeed, a 10-point victory for Dublin. We'll have analysis of this Dublin performance. Do stay tuned. We'll be right back after this commercial break.